John Jones comes into his first title defense since the war against Alexander Gustafsson that many consider the best fight in UFC history, with more questions than usual around him.
Does he still have the same fire, the same desire?
Does John Jones lose some of that unwavering confidence that he's had really throughout his entire career?
Was that fight that we saw with Gustafsson kind of a sign of the division catching up to a guy that's just dominated for the last couple of years?
I tend to think that that fight against Gustafsson is going to make Jones that much better, but you never know.
Certainly now, Glover Teixeira knows this guy can be beaten and he can be hit with punches, and the one thing Glover Teixeira can do above anything else is he can crack.
Glover Teixeira's won 20 fights in a row, just absolutely on a tear.
He's a bull in a china shop. He's not going to be dancing around the cage. He's going to walk straight forward. He's going to look to land a tight left hook on the inside.
I think what happened in the Gustafsson fight was more of an outlier. John Jones is going to come back just so strong.
And I think when there's some critics or there's some speculation, hey, Jones is losing it, I think Jones reacts to that.
I think he's going to come with a few new tricks. He'll keep it on the outside. He's more versatile with his striking. He moves better than Glover Teixeira.
I really think he gets back on track here. John Jones is just on another level.
I just think that Glover is going to get caught with something big. John is a killer. When he has you in trouble, he finishes. And I think he's going to find a way to finish this fight. The co-main event of UFC 172 in Baltimore is going to be a very fascinating fight. Phil Davis, All-American wrestler in college, one of the tough guys in the world, going up against Anthony Rumble Johnson.
Phil Davis was a guy who needed an opponent after he beat Lyoto Machida, and up pops former UFC welterweight/middleweight Anthony Johnson, who's now fighting at 205 pounds, and it's a perfect fight.
Anthony Johnson is still a guy that's known first and foremost for knocking people out. Since he left the UFC, he's finished 4 of his 6 opponents.
Phil Davis has really started to put together the full package. For him to be able to stand with a striker who's as complex and unorthodox as Lyoto Machida and win that type of fight, that just shows you that how far along Phil Davis has come.
I think Phil Davis is going to do the smart thing and try to get the fight to the ground and then finish it with either a submission or using his ground and pound.
Both these guys want to get to the title really bad, but I think Anthony Johnson just might be a little bit more well-rounded than Phil Davis.
Something about Anthony Johnson and the power that he possesses at 205, he's extremely explosive at this weight. I think he's going to catch Phil Davis, and I think he's going to win the TKO.
He's an underdog worth taking a long look at.